For today's creature feature, we come to Indianapolis, Indiana, my birth state. I was born right here in Indiana, not here in Indianapolis, out in Newcastle, which I just made about a 45-minute journey. Right here to this spot. I wanted to kick off this video because tonight, Game 4 of the NBA Finals will be played right here. Oklahoma City versus the Indiana Pacers at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, originally called Conseco Fieldhouse. I was actually here on November 6th, 1999 for the first ever Indiana Pacers basketball game held back then at their brand new stadium. Before that, we used to go to Market Square Arena over on Market Street to watch the Indiana Pacers. It just worked out. I was in town. I wish I could go to the game tonight. Those are very expensive tickets. I looked them up. The cheapest ticket I could find was $900 up in the cheap seats. But I've had plans to be here on Friday the 13th in Indianapolis. Go Pacers, for over a year. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I am Tampa J. This is Indiana, where I was born. Last night, spent the night with my mom. It was awesome. Got to catch up. I'm gonna stay at my mom's house tonight. We're heading back to one of my favorite conventions in all of the land of horror. Days of the Dead, Indianapolis 2025 kicks off on Friday the 13th, which just so happens to be Jason Voorhees' birthday. If you remember the original Friday the 13th, on screen in the beginning, June 13th, and then later in the movie, Betsy Palmer, Mrs. Voorhees says his name was Jason, and today is his birthday. So June 13th, specifically 1946, Jason's birthday, June 13th, right now, so happens to fall on Friday the 13th. So I knew I had to do something, and I knew I had to come home. Because today, happy heavenly birthday to my grandfather, who was also born on June 13th. Today would have been his 87th birthday. Grandpa just passed away just before Christmas. I was gonna be here no matter what. This all came together. Grandpa was a huge basketball fan. He played basketball for the Mount Summit Eagles back in 1956. Hoosiers, man. It's in our blood. And I used to go to Pacers games with my dad all the time. And it just all came to a head. Huge fan of Friday the 13th. There will be several actors who played Jason Voorhees at the convention today. There will be a panel. We're gonna celebrate Friday the 13th / Jason's birthday with a lot of Jasons at Days of the Dead. And hopefully tonight, I'll give you some updates. The game will be going on as I'm over at the convention. Go Pacers. I hope they win. It's 2-1. So I wanted to set that all up properly. I wanted to come downtown, take a look at the stadium. You gonna come with me? Are you going? Because we're going to Days of the Dead for today's creature feature. Let's head over to the Marriott. There's much ahead. And if you're looking for the Days of the Dead Indianapolis convention this weekend, it's being held per usual at the Marriott Indianapolis East. The last time I was here was in 2023. I was here with my mom and my fiance, Chris the girl, if you remember that episode. I just walked in the door and I passed KANE HODDER on the way in, and we officially have signage. All right, I found the line. I think this is where we get in line and get our tickets. I think that's what everyone's doing. First cosplay I've seen. Look at that. We got Ash. Oh, look. And the Simpsons. Hi. And I just cleared the line. I got my wristband. I want to thank 13X Studios for getting me in today on this Friday the 13th. I'm sure we'll see them later. I just want to point out that I got in here a little early. It doesn't open till 5 o'clock. VIP is now permitted to go inside, but I have to wait about a half hour or so. Ooh, I see Necropolis over here.
Summer Slaughter.
Summer Slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
I like how you shed that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You look like you're from Florida.
Well, I'm from an island. And I got a little bit.
An island?
Yeah, from a little island originally. But then I got a little bit sunburn.
Oh yeah, that happens.
No, you know?
I'm originally, well, not originally, but I just moved from Florida. I get it. Yeah.
You get these types of tans a lot?
A lot. Yeah, I still got one. Not that bad though.
After it goes away, you get that
Yeah.
nice golden brown tan. Everybody likes it. Very.
So unfortunately, I have to head out of town, but they are open tomorrow night. If I was sticking around, I would definitely walk through Necropolis again. It's a great haunt, and it is literally under the ground, right across the street from here, not too far. All right, look at this. Andy's got the banner. It's Jason's birthday. Happy birthday, Jason. Born in 1946. That makes you very old. Are you his friend? Yeah, that's a yes. There. I'm here at Pop Cult Horror Forge, and they have 3D printed these spark plugs and made them into lamps. Check it out, 2 for $155 each. That's tempting. These are cool. Holy cow, it's a 3D printed, life-size Michael Myers here at Pop Cult. This is a cool vendor. That is amazing. I've never seen a 3D printed thing that size. Is that 3D printed?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna touch his face. Oh, his mask is even 3D printed. That's cool. I just met the man behind the counter here, Blake. Shout out to him. These are really cool. These ghosties with the candles. Whoa.
This one actually glows in the dark, too.
That one glows in the dark?
Yeah, I forgot my UV light at home.
Oh, that's cool. Check him out. Pop Cult Horror Forge. You got the card right there. And I'm here at this booth, and look, I walk up and I meet friends, subscribers, and I get a gift. Jaws 50th anniversary. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for watching. Looks like you're selling some cool stuff here. And it's always cool running into awesome friends. And look at this. It's Freddy versus Jason in flames. And we all know Jason won, right? Sorry, Freddy. That just made me think of something. Huge fan of A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. I grew up here in Indiana. I left here when I was 17. But I watched Friday the 13th for the first time just 45 minutes from here. It's cool to be back here on Jason's birthday on Friday the 13th. Look at this artwork. I love it. We got Terrifier and Jaws. I would totally rock both of these. This is cool. This company here, they do some prints on the back of clothes. I like the Chucky's like flying through the air. It's got the knife. Yeah.
Start at 75 and go to 150.
75 to 150
Yeah,
for the.
so mostly the blue ones are 75 to 125. The black ones are the ones that are 150 because I buy those full price brand new.
They're really nice. What's the name of your business?
Pretty spooky handmade.
Pretty Spooky Handmade. That's easy to remember. All right, so I popped out of the main vendor room. There's also another vendor room over here, as per usual, in Liberty Hall, and a lot of the celebrities are inside Liberty Hall. There's the real Michael. All right, make it quick. You always make it slow and painful. For once, can you just make it? I must be an Oklahoma City fan. It is 5 o'clock. They are letting us in. I'm in line to enter the next vendor room over here. I just realized Linda Blair is here. This is the line right here to meet Linda Blair, Exorcist. And she's not here just yet, but she will be arriving. LBWF declares a national state of emergency for companion animals. Okay, this is an organization that Linda proudly endorses and promotes. That's really cool. We've got a 50th anniversary. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Paul and Chainsaw here. It's a toy. Oh yeah, I was just showing that. That's really cool.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre box set for only $130.
Oh, it comes apart there. Oh, and it makes
a chainsaw noise.
$130.
You got the VHS, you got a UHD, you got a Blu-ray with 2 bonus discs, collectible package. Every one of them is numbered, 1 to 5,000.
Thank you.
We got them in the box.
In the box right there. Cool. Dark Sky. Check them out here at Days of the Dead this weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is also cool too. Here.
One of
Black
our top
Maria.
sellers, that's also a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's cool,
called
dude.
a Black Maria. That originally was $100. We're selling them for $30.
30 bucks.
Yeah, we'll sell out of them. We'll sell out of these and those.
Come and get them fast.
Right.
Yeah. 40th anniversary steelbook, 15 bucks.
We've got those
I've got
over
this
there.
version. This version right here, which I took to the filming locations in Texas And here he is right here, Leatherface. Yeah. That's really cool. We've got a Leatherface at home. That's right. You look real. Is he real? Ugh. All right, these neon signs are really cool. Specifically, the Goosebumps, the Good Guys, of course, the Friday the 13th, Dawn of the Dead, Creature from the Black Lagoon. And check this out, Misfits, one of my favorite bands. The MTV sign, that's very cool. These are going, ooh, 40 bucks each. That's not bad. I really like the Goosebumps. Bootleg as FCK. I'll let you figure out what that last acronym is right there. Oh yeah, jackpot. Right back here in the corner, we've got some animatronics. I see some killer clowns. I see Sam up there. We got Beetlejuice. We've got Art the Clown. And we've got Art the Clown over there. Terrifier 3. I remember seeing you at Spirit Halloween. Also you. Actually, I was looking for you. I didn't find you. Who knew I would find you in Indianapolis, Beetlejuice? 400 bucks. I remember buying a hat off this specific vendor 3 years ago. An original Ghostbusters hat, 1984. They always got good stuff. I like the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch mask up here. Look at this giant Terrifier 3 poster. They got a lot of comic books, specifically horror. Look at this one, Haunted Horror. 20 bucks. The Chilling Archives of Horror Comics. All right, I collect two things, t-shirts and VHS. I'm gonna thumb through these. Ooh, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which I first watched right here in Indiana. Oh yeah, I remember exactly where I was. It was New Palestine. That thing came out at Video Junction. And I rented it. Well, my mom did. I've got a lot of stuff to look through. All right, so I bought this VHS. This is a recorded VHS, but this is the first 1981 recording of Halloween on TV with all the commercials. I look forward to watching this. It's a homemade case there. It's really cool. It's on a Sony tape. This is the stuff I love. And thanks to Time Warp Collectibles, check them out on Instagram and Facebook. There's their information right there. Check them out. They're always at Days of the Dead, Indianapolis. It's a really cool booth. I see a lot of blow molds that I'm about to blow a lot of money if I don't walk away. Like that one right there. That's really cool. That's classic. We used to have one of those. And Bam Margera is here in-house. You can get one of his decks and get it signed. That's pretty cool, dude. I watched the crap out of Jackass and Viva La Bam when I was a kid. It's really cool to see him at these conventions. And I have ran into TerraVision once again. Who remembers Rumpelstiltskin? They've got it on VHS here. Rumpelstiltskin, of course, the Monster Squad, Dante's Inferno. That's cool. We got, check this out, cassette tapes, which I have a couple of these. These are from TerraVision. They put the soundtracks on cassette tapes. Check this out, my favorite. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. CJ Graham is here, by the way. We'll see him later. They've also got a lot of horror vinyl here. Check this out, soundtrack to Chud 2 for 20 bucks. Ooh, that's tempting. Check it out, Bam Margera and his wife getting a quick photo here. Okay, I just found the main celebrity room. Tom Savini is here, the legendary Tom Savini, Friday the 13th. Also, Greg Nicotero is right there. And Bill Duke from The Predator and Commando is here as well. Wow, what a surprise. And look, I ran into Michael and Jessica from Grim Life Collective.
The spookiest cursed couple on YouTube. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Good to see you guys. You're just passing through, huh?
Passing through. We were filming in the area and decided to stop by and just kind of say hello.
Oh, I like it. Look at that. Everyone's meeting in Indiana today.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the perfect meeting place.
All right, I'm running into a lot of people here. Also, David Howard Thornton's here. The cast of Terrifier, Stream, which we went to their premiere in South Carolina. It's all here. It's all horror. Days of the Dead. Come check it out. And look at this. I just met Bill Duke. I have not had the opportunity to meet Bill. I was fanboying out of there. I'm a huge fan of The Predator, also Commando. He was the Garbage Man. We talked there for a second. He's a really nice guy, living in Atlanta nowadays. Thanks, Mr. Bill. Also, I got a selfie. Check this out. There it is right there, me and Bill Duke. Predator just turned, oh wow, Predator just celebrated its 38th birthday a couple days ago. I saw that pop up in my Instagram feed. Speaking of that, I'll show this to my Instagram. Daniel Roebuck is here. I always enjoy seeing Daniel. He's been in a lot of stuff, specifically on TV. He was in Cave Girl. He was in Halloween 2. Rob Zombie, of course, Stream. I saw him on an episode of Nash Bridges. There it is. Also Grimm, Dudes, Phantasm, River's Edge. Oh, look at that. Him on Star Trek, The Next Generation. Dude, that's awesome. Having a great Friday the 13th so far. Now later, I think it's at 7 o'clock, we will see all the Jasons on stage that are here at Friday the 13th. So much ahead. I want to shout out the 13X Studios. Check out their new line. Look at these. It's KANE HODDER. I just passed them on the way in. Also, check out this new Part 8 mask. Whoa. Rick, you've been working your magic,
all right,
bro.
Come on, just let me talk about. Okay, listen. This guy's wearing a Pacer shirt. Right now.
Okay,
Listen,
here we go. Here we go.
Listen, he wants to start trash already. All right, this is all I gotta say. All right, as I'm repping
you
my
were the
Knicks.
one that talked trash to
I
me.
didn't talk trash. It is what it is. This
you
is
brought
all
it
I
up.
gotta say though. Is what no one. First of all, one person is an NBA fan. No one cares what I'm about to say. But when I looked at the NBA playoff schedule, I saw that Friday 13th, Game 4 of whoever played. So I said, "Oh my God, if the Knicks ever played it, it would be tonight." And I'm like, I'm hosting a party tonight. I'm already stressing for last month. I'm like, what if the Knicks are in it? What if the Knicks are in it? So I'll tell you what, I wanted the Knicks. I love my Knicks, but now that they lost, I felt like I just like I could breathe again. So I'm good.
I understand that.
They had a listen. They had
It's
a
like me
phenomenal
during
season.
Ray's baseball season during the haunt season. Yeah.
Could you name the starting 5 of the Pacers right now?
I could name
he can. How many?
Mark Jackson,
there you go.
Reggie Miller.
See, don't listen
Rick
to these guys.
Smith,
You see all these Pacer
Halliburton,
shirts.
Neesmith.
Listen, but I'm going to do something very special for my party tonight. I will bring Jay on still. It's going to be a surprise. Oh, it doesn't matter now.
It's
they're not gonna
Jason's
see it.
birthday.
It is Jason's birthday.
So stay tuned for the party.
And you just say, I lost 20 pounds in the last month and a half. Look at this. 20 pounds.
It's because you're making
It's a 14 pack, not a 20 pack.
You're making, as you per usual, quality.
I know, dude. I've been on the go like 24/7. Now I have con. I'm so stacked until next July, a year from now. So I don't know. I'm going crazy, man. And I didn't do an energy drink either. I quit energy drinks and I quit shots. So all I do now is drink. When I drink once a week, I drink some beer or seltzers. That's it. I cut the shots. It's poison, and energy drinks are poison. And I love them when I miss them. All right, I'm just lying. I need an energy drink now. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to Days of the Dead.
Good intro. Let's go.
Amazing location, and the cast was brilliant. And I just really enjoyed the character. She was crazy and very unlike anything I had played up to that point. So I had fun.
Yeah, we should say that you were running around in 100+ degree heat and leather.
Yes.
How?
I was dying. I thought I would die. I had to wear a bodysuit with leather pants, so I was wearing a corset underneath. Big mistake. Big mistake. You don't do that. Not in 120 degrees. So I had a big wig on, so I was like in every scene just dripping. But I just used it. I was like, yeah, I love this heat. Yeah. No, I was.
And check out daysofthedead.com for the photo op list and the celebrity list. Right now, they've got the stream group.
Photo ops. Any stream group photo ops. Last call. All stream photo ops. Last call.
It's about ready to end there. Also, check this out. Detroit Rock City duo. I love that movie. Kiss Army. James DeBello and Edward Furlong's here. So that's cool. Also, they have a Terminator 2 duo. T2. And ladies and gentlemen, you can get photos with an actual beautiful owl for $5. That's incredible. That's beautiful. Is that real? Yeah. Watch out. It'll bite you. And here is the official 2025 Days of the Dead con shirt. We got Art the Clown versus Jason Voorhees. This is a really cool shirt. Ooh, I love this too. You got the Funhouse. You got the Grim Reaper down there. That's so cool. So I just walked up to Tom Savini and struck up a conversation. I've met him several times. Got my picture with him. several years back at Days of the Dead Atlanta. I was talking to him about his first movie, Dead of Night, aka Death Dream, the second name, filmed in Brooksville, Florida. I did an entire filming locations video on his first movie a couple years back, so that was really cool. I hadn't talked to him since I made that video, so Tom was really nice. Shout out to Tom Savini. Goosebumps on my goosebumps, always fanboying out when I see him, so that was really cool, specifically seeing him on Friday the 13th. All right, I just took a picture with the Jason, part 4, with the soundtrack. Yeah, I like it. Happy birthday, Jason. Yeah, thank you so much for all that you do, all you've done for all these years. June 13th was also my grandpa's birthday, so look at that.
Are you sure?
All right,
Yeah.
very popular Jason.
Like there's a huge
Part 4 Jason with a birthday hat.
Do a fun one.
This is awesome. I gotta get my picture too. Jason with some campers.
Take one more.
All right. And to find the panels and Q&As this weekend here at Days of the Dead, you gotta come to Freedom Hall Alpha, Freedom Hall A, which is right here past the main doors, past the bar area. So right in here is where the Jasons are about to speak.
Okay, everyone, officially, round of applause, Friday the 13th.
Warrington Gillette, CJ Graham, Friday the 13th, part 6, and part 2. Happy birthday.
Oh, look who decided to show up.
KANE HODDER. The silhouette of KANE HODDER. There he is. On Jason's birthday. Reno, Nevada's finest.
That seems fake.
You missed the real one.
Who jumped to that, CJ?
Thank you. Well, happy birthday, Jason Voorhees. It's your day today, right?
It is. It is, in fact, Jason's birthday, June 13th.
That's right. So it is actually the day. Happy birthday, boys. Okay, so to begin this panel, I want to go back to the very beginning of your, careers. I want to know, thank you, how KANE got involved in stunts, how you guys got involved in acting. Tell me from the beginning, what's it all about?
Oh, you want to start with me?
Yes, we do.
Oh, wow. It's just all a shock that this is all happening. It's a shock that the brand got where it is today. But I guess I'm in the beginning. I auditioned in New York for another part in the film, the John Fury part.
Is that right?
Yeah, I come strapping
I didn't
in there.
even know if I knew that.
Yeah, I go in there and I'm thinking this and that, and it was Frank Mancuso and Steve Miner, and when I was really young, so you're just so excited, you're reading for anything. You don't care what it is, you know? And so, I don't know what happened. They obviously took him, and they asked me if I wanted to be Jason. I said, oh, sure, that's great. Oh, well, he's got to do a lot of stunts. That's no problem. We can handle those. I've been to Hollywood Stuntman School. I've been this, I've been that. And I don't know, then it sort of happened.
Yeah.
And then I got there, and yeah, it just got more complicated as we went.
KANE.
What?
How did your stunt journey, acting journey start for you?
You guys have heard this, I'm sure, a million times, so I just wanted to be a stunt guy. I loved the idea of trying to make a living doing crazy stuff that I used to do for free to entertain my friends, and I just got obsessed with the idea of being a Hollywood stuntman. And it's incredibly hard to get into, and it takes forever unless you are what they call a legacy. If you have a family member that has done stunts in the past, it's a little easier for you to get into the business. I didn't have that. so it took forever. And then, as you know, I got burned doing a fire stunt. My first year as a professional stuntman, so not a great start. And that was a long recovery. And then, you know, as soon as I could, I went back. And I think I've talked about this some, but maybe not as much. If you ever used to remember the show Wonder Woman, the TV show with Linda Carter, that was my first job back after I got burned. I did a little stunt thing, very minor, but when you get burned after you finally get out of the hospital, you wear something called jobst, which is like a support garment that keeps the scars from getting too raised. If you wear it constantly, it keeps the scarring a little more subdued or whatever, so it's less obvious.
More streamlined.
I guess it just keeps it flat. But you could, if you ever watched that episode of Wonder Woman, it was Wonder Woman at a convention, running through the convention. It was a sci-fi con, and she bumps into me, and I kind of take a little hit, very minor stunt thing, but you could see that I'm wearing that garment still, so it's interesting to look at that. I just looked at it recently. I hadn't looked at it for a long time, but as soon as I could, I got back into stunts and just was happy I was making a living doing stunts. And then John Beekler decided I should be Jason, and, you know, changed my whole career. And I wish he was still here.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in this crazy thing called acting?
I know KANE always gives me a hard time because I don't give myself enough credit. I got to give myself more credit, but I did my job. You know, I was fortunate enough to run a nightclub, got an opportunity to play Jason. The company called Real Effects, REEL, worked with Ted White in Part 4, and they had done a stunt thing at the nightclub I worked, and they all said, well, let's put CJ in Ted White's wardrobe, similarities in structure. And when I say the rest is history, it is. They knew they were doing Part 6. Obviously, this was after Part 5. And when they said, we're going to cast you for Jason, I went, okay, yeah, right. Give or take 3 months later, I did do the auditioning process. I got to meet with Frank Mancuso Jr. and Michael Nomad, the stunt coordinator, and Tom McLaughlin, the director-writer. I didn't get the part. It was given to another stunt man, Dan Bradley. So the scene with the 3 paintballs or 4 paintballs, most people just assume I'm a little thicker than I am, or I'm wearing padding. That was his first and only daily that came back, and they weren't satisfied with the profile.
Because he looked a little too heavy, right?
I call him thick. Okay.
Thick.
I don't know the man. I would never say he's a little thicker than I am. So he got booted after one daily came back. I got that phone call that I'm in now. Got fortunate because I didn't have the pleasure of going into stunt school, but just like if I was working for KANE, I know he's going to protect my ass. I had confidence in Michael Nomad. So when we did all the stunts, I'd never done them before. He just kind of walked me through the process. And even today when people talk about the stunts, and I didn't do a full fire burn, I just did my backside, but it was interesting watching the flames come over the back and include your mask.
But, you know, from someone that's done a lot of fire stunts, to have a guy like CJ do a fire stunt, that is very unusual and pretty impressive, because most stunt people are trained in doing fire. He had to just go by what Nomad had to say, and, you know, there was somebody else that was doing safety on it, I'm sure.
I'm sure there were other folks in it, but it was Michael just, you know, he put me in this race car driver suit, put my wardrobe on, put some gel, which I couldn't tell you what it is, and said back up into the fire, okay?
Wow.
You know, when you see this come over, but, you know, that was one thing, but being 20 feet underwater, breathing off regulators, and I had a fan recently asked me, well, why didn't you have a breakaway chain? And I thought about that. It wasn't a breakaway. It was a real freaking chain. They had me on top of 2 center blocks, and it was screwed tight. So I would just signal for error, and they'd come in and pull my mask up. It's nighttime. But I think I'm very proud of what we did. I'm very proud of the results. I was very honored that, you know, KANE came right after us and kept the strength. I mean, a lot of you folks, when you heard what KANE said about doing funny things and stunts when he was young, YouTube would have loved him 30 years ago.
I was Jackass before they existed.
Exactly. True statement when you think about it. I mean, you know, there's your wild right there. But I was very fortunate, and I appreciate being part of the franchise and being here.
And let me just add that at the end of his movie, Part 6, being underwater, when I did Part 7, we had to recreate that for a brief time. So I did the exact same thing where I was tied to the bottom. Yours wasn't a diving pool though, right?
Mine was an Olympic-sized pool, 20 feet deep.
Oh, it was. So
a real Olympic-sized pool at UCLA.
Right, we did the same thing in a pool, but I had to recreate the end of his movie for the beginning of Part 7. So I was cabled to the bottom of the pool for a couple hours at a time with a regulator, exactly the same thing, which is an odd thing to do because you have to breathe, and then when they roll the cameras, you give up your regulator and you're attached to the bottom of the pool with no breathing apparatus now. And they shoot the scenes and whatever little shots they're doing, and then in my case a safety diver would bring the regulator back and I could breathe again. But I don't know how long you were underwater at one time, but I was under for a couple hours at a time.
Well, we shot ours through the entire night, so I never got out of the pool. The only time I got to go up was when they bring me up and we had these little tiny monitors that I could look and see what it looked like, and the director would give me instructions. My 2 safety divers would take me back down to the 2 center blocks, and then they put the chain around me, which was like weights to keep me down. And I would just signal, like you said, for error. And again, pitch black, so they would just lift my mask and clear the regulator. I mean, you know, at that point, like you're saying, it's, you know, if you're out of air and you're signaling, you don't have a lot of time left. So if they decide to leave your ass down there, you're in trouble because there's no way you're going to get unhooked, unscrew a chain, and
yeah, no
you're
way.
freaking out. It's, you know, conservatively, you know, 15 feet to the surface, you're over.
and when we did ours, I don't know if it was the same with yours. We haven't really talked about this all that much, but John Beekler was the director outside the pool, would speak on a microphone, and I could hear him perfectly underwater.
Oh, we didn't have that.
Yeah, he would tell me.
I do this with a little camera.
Right, he would tell me what's going to happen, and okay, we're ready to roll, and it was a lot more easy to do knowing that the director is talking to me the whole time.
And the same thing when I would be down there, you know, I go up every, give or take 15 minutes, watch, and he'd tell me, give me direction from above. So we didn't have the underwater, but as soon as I got down, and I could hear the clicking of the camera, and that was my indication it's running, you know, kind of like, let's go. And then we go through the motion, and then again, when I was done, I was done. We just kept going back and forth and up and down and up and down. My safety divers had 1/4-inch suits on, wetsuits.
Yeah.
There was a point where they started complaining how cold they were. Now, I'm just in wardrobe, all right? But they're like, my, you know, director's like, well, do you want to get out and get warm? And you all know that once your body gets down to a temperature, you don't want to get out and warm up. You want to just stay where you're at. So we finished. You know, it was early morning when we finished. But I remember the divers, 1/4-inch wetsuits, and they're complaining they're cold. So.
And I remember at the beginning of our underwater stuff was done in 2 days, and it was the last 2 days of shooting the film. The last 2 days of principal photography, where you're already exhausted from wearing the makeup and doing all the stuff, and then you had to do the underwater stuff. And at the beginning of Part 7, I had to look like CJ did at the end of Part 6. So I had gloves on that I never wore in Part 7, but to establish that it was still kind of how he left the end of his movie. That was the wardrobe, and then time passes and the decay happens, and I don't have gloves on anymore and stuff. So it was it's a lot more difficult than you would think.
We twins.
You know, we didn't have any of that technology in our part too.
What was that, 82?
I hate to date myself, but it's hard for me to even think about 82 anyhow. But we didn't have dailies, we didn't have monitors, you didn't have anything there. They were just shooting in 35 millimeter. They might have a camera with a Polaroid around the set, and they take a couple shots and say, oh, this is what it looks like. And then, if my most notable stunt, obviously, was blasting through the window. We probably did it 15 times. 15 times. And we couldn't.
Is that your phone?
Boring.
Get the friend off stage.
Let me have it for a second. I gotta check something on it.
That's all right. We're going back. And then you had no dailies to look at, so they wanted to make sure they did it 15 times. So they had it. And then you still never saw it.
You went through a breakaway window, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Because most of the time when you see somebody go through a window, it's breakaway. It's candy glass, they call it, which is not.
Well, no, this was thin plexiglass, and it was going in your skin all over the place. And the wood was scored a little bit, which means they cut it like halfway. And of course, when have I dove through a window before? Never. It's not something you normally do. But you're a good enough athlete, you got to figure it out. So I remember, I took 3 steps and then boom, like that, like jumping a horse over a fence, because you had to time it, because you only had so much space to run with, because you're outside smashing in. So you had 3 steps. 1, 2, bah. And the first time I did it, I ricocheted off because I didn't hit it hard enough. You've never done anything, then you don't know what to expect. And of course, I was so young. Well, how the hell am I going to tell Steve Miner? Yeah, I've been a stunt guy from Hollywood for 20 years. No, because I was.
You know that's something you don't tell an audience, that you bounced off. You don't let them know that you was weak.
No, it doesn't matter, because I'm happy and proud that they did a tribute to horror at the Academy Awards, and that scene got an Academy Award with me as the best scene ever made in a horror film. Wow. So I'm done. That's it. No more.
Oh, look at that.
Best scene ever done in a horror movie until 1983.
This was 3 years ago.
I'm quitting the business.
That's hilarious.
3 years ago, they did a tribute to horror.
4 years ago. Wow.
3 or 4 years ago.
We must have missed that, bro.
But I'm gonna get it for you. I'm gonna get it for you.
And when you talk about
it's in the book.
What they call candy glass, it's not candy at all.
It's plexiglass.
It's not plexiglass. It's breakaway glass.
Okay.
But if the window is too big, you cannot use candy glass or breakaway glass, because it ends up having to be too thick, so it's not really adequate. So like, if there's a shot in Jason Takes Manhattan where I forget what the door is, but it's a full-on glass door, and I walk through it and it just breaks as I hit it. That was real glass, and it had a squib on it, which means just as I hit the glass, the special effects guys would blow a squib and it would instantly shatter it. Jeez. So it would appear that I'm shattering it, but it was actually done by an explosive device, and it's all real glass. So it, makes it a little trickier for timing, but you can, if you watch it, that scene again, I forget what door it was, what I'm coming through, but you can see it just instantly shatters right before I hit it. And
slows down.
Yeah, I got that.
Movie magic. Okay, before we throw it to the audience, we've got to do some plugs. First of all, did you guys know there is a Jason Goes to Hell documentary? It's actually getting premiered tonight in Los Angeles.
Look at that.
Director Adam Marcus made a documentary featuring all you Jason Goes to Hell people, and I can't wait to see it. So I'm sure it'll be out for streamers and DVDs shortly, so please keep an eye out for that, right? Secondly, we have
Hearts of
Darkness. Yes, Hearts of Darkness. Secondly, we have an author here, right? We've got his brand new book today, also premiering. Bloody Social Murder in Palm Beach, a novel based on a true story. Can you talk about this?
Okay, this wasn't thought of yesterday. It's been a long time in development. My friends and supporters have been hearing about it, been supporting me through the way. Bill, Philpott, CJ. Unfortunately, my father was having lunch with his bitch of a wife, my stepmother, on Friday the 13th. Another Friday the 13th. And I don't know why, she had this sketch pedophile priest at the table. The three of them for lunch. Then I get the call, he had lunch and dropped dead. So now, I'm the kind of guy who say, well, excuse me, what the hell was in the lunch? I get down on the scene, I'm investigating, and the worst thing in your life is to lose a parent, and I'm sure you all can understand what I was going through. Anyway, I had a big investigation as to what happened. She went, of course, to the Côte d'Azur with her new Latin lover, and then I started making my complaint known to the media. It became a national scandal that I accused my stepmother of murdering my father. I was born. So then all of these suspicions got pulled out first into a screenplay. Now we're having readings on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and I thought that we had enough power to make an indie film. Okay, great. This time Jason is going to get revenge for the death of his father.
That's how you say it, huh?
Happy to Grace.
Washington.
No. I'm trying to be funny because it's a French name, really. Right?
Happy to Grace. Happy to grow.
Interesting. You know, you think you know how to pronounce a city until you go there and you say it, and the locals correct it.
Oh yeah, I know all about that.
Like, don't go to Peabody, Massachusetts. It's Peabody. There's so many places.
I was in Louisville, Kentucky last week, and before I was on stage, I had to do a little video.
And you said Louisville?
No, I asked how do you pronounce it before I say it, because those folks from Kentucky, they carry guns. I had my handler tell me how to specifically say it before I said it.
Louisville.
And don't say Nevada if you go to that state.
Washington.
Wash machine. Do you say crick? Who? Do you say crick?
I don't know. No, I don't. I say banana.
All right, there you go. Happy birthday, Jason.
Bloody Social Murder in Palm Beach is ready.
Look at this. We have major suites here.
Sorta. They call me Harry Wonka.
Ah.
I'm supposed to be Harry. They say they remind me of somebody like Willy Wonka. But yeah, sort of like Mr. Major Sweets too.
I like it. So what's the name is?
Harry Wonka.
Harry Wonka. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a great look.
Awesome.
I like the shoes too.
The shoes, they're fancy.
Are those Joe Maddens or
these? I don't know. I picked them up out of the garbage.
Oh, they're really nice. I like them.
They look pretty good. So I just
they're sweet.
Sweet. Oh, just like Major Sweets.
All right, Friday night, 13th. We're checking back into 13X Studios. How's the con been for a vendor?
It has been fantastic so far. I think people feel bad for me because they see my Knicks hat and they're like, oh, we'll just throw them some money, man. So it's all good. It is
yeah, you are an indie.
It is what it is, but it's Friday 13th. I'm ready to party, man.
Jason's
I'm ready to party tonight, tomorrow. And then we got Spooky Empire next weekend.
There you
so
go.
I'm gonna go, man.
Check out 13X Studios.
Yes, please.
At Spooky Empire.
Yes, it's gonna be an amazing show.
I will not be there.
I know. We're gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too. And someone brought a Terrifier 2 poster, which they're getting the entire cast. And they just asked, oh yeah, that's cool. Asked Rick to sign it. That's really cool.
Should they not be asking me? I mean, I should have
Oh,
gotten.
geez, don't take it so offensively.
Well, I mean, it's cool that he's asked me. You know how many of these I've signed so far? 5,000.
5,000. So this is 5,001.
5,001. I hate Pacer fans. I just hate Pacer fans. Ugh. Puke emoji.
Selfie guy never dies.
Sorry to say the F word, guys. That almost cut into David. Oh my god, that would have been great.
Never dies unless he's in part 4. And I just struck up a conversation with Edward Furlong, and I was showing him this spot in the desert that I found back in January. We were talking about it, and he confirmed that they did in Terminator 2, they did dig a pit, and they filmed the weapons detail in the ground in this spot. So an update to my Terminator 2 filming locations video. Shout out to Ed, really nice guy, really cool catching up with him. I met him back a few years back, got a picture with him at Spooky Empire in Orlando, so that was cool to say hello to him again. Thanks, Ed. I'm still not convinced that you're not real. You're just a really good actor at standing still. I don't know. He'll come alive at night, I'm sure, when they turn the lights off. Also here this weekend, Veronica Cartwright from Alien. Also, when she was younger, she was in The Birds, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and The Witches of Eastwick. Also, she was on The X-Files. Got a lot of photos here. She's not here right now. There she is in The Birds. Wow, that's awesome. There she is in Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Jeff Goldblum. She will be here all weekend, folks. Come get an autograph, say hello. And speaking of Terminator, Michael Biehn is here. I also met Michael Biehn at Spooky Empire several years ago. Terminator. Check out those locations as well. That was one of my favorite projects I ever created. Both Terminator and Terminator 2. I'm stalking another Jason on his birthday. We've got part 7, KANE HODDER. And the cast of Stream is here. And player number 1. Okay, make it quick. I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, I love it. And I just realized there's an Aliens Q&A going on. That's where Michael Biehn is. Let's go check that out.
And then I started, Hill Street Blues. I did a really, really good show. It's like a 4-hour show called Deadly Intentions that was based on a true character. And right around that time was sort of when the Terminator was going on, and that's when I think the best thing that ever happened to me, because people talk about luck, it was lucky that I was able to audition for Jim Cameron. So I was able to get in front of Jim Cameron and audition for him. It could have been I wouldn't have been available. It might have been I was shooting something else. I was out of town, or And so after that happened, things got a lot easier for me. Because after he did the Terminator, and I got very, very close to Jim when we were doing the Terminator, and then when these guys went off to do Aliens, there was another actor that was going to play Hicks, and his name was James Remar, and Remar had a drug problem, and he got into trouble. Let's just put it that way, and it's the way that I understand it. The English government kind of well, we don't really want this guy in town. So I knew they were shooting the movie because Bill was in it. And I, of course, was very close with Bill. I did 5 movies with Bill Paxton. And Aliens was one of them. But at the time, I knew they were shooting. But I got a call on a Thursday, and it was Gail Hurd, Jim's wife. Jim and Gail were boyfriend and girlfriend when they did the Terminator. They were married when they did Aliens, and they were divorced when we did The Abyss. Thank you. And don't know my own movies.
It makes perfect sense.
But anyway, Gail called me on Thursday, and she said, "Michael, we're having to replace James Remar, who's playing Hicks, and would you be interested in coming over here?" I was like, "Yes, yeah, absolutely." So that Monday morning, I was on the set, all geared up and wardrobed up, and the armor that we all wear was designed by each actor. Each actor, Jim said, "Here's your armor. You can write on it whatever you want." Jeanette did her own thing, and Bill Paxton did his own thing, and Remar did the heart with the lock through it on, and so they gave me his armor to wear, and I immediately said to Jim Cameron that, like, I felt that red, pinkish, round circle looked like a bullseye to me, and I didn't want to wear it. And Jim said, "Well, we shot a little bit with him, and I really appreciate it if you would wear it." And when Jim says, "I'd really appreciate it if you did do it my way," okay.
I mean, we shot we showed up in the morning, and Bill Paxton was like white as a goat. I mean, he was like shaking, and he was like, and we're like, "What's going on?" He goes, I can't even, because he was with Remar the night that it happened, and so he almost got caught up in the drag. I mean, he, not a drug addict at all. I mean, but they were out. He was there, and he was like, "Oh," and he goes, "I can't talk," and it was like all this, like,
Guilty by association.
he didn't want to say what had happened. He couldn't say what had happened. It was this just bizarre. Something had happened, and then all of a sudden, you showed up. And they said, "Well, okay, this is now, something has happened, and we are now going to be reshooting with this actor here." You all know. I mean, it was just, it was like.
And now we can't picture anyone else in that role.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it was interesting. They were very different. I mean, Remar's a great actor. I mean, he's really great. And very different, that low voice, tough thing. He has a whole, so it was a different type of Hicks, and then you have that whole different, aura and softness and the whole thing about you.
Well, when we did Alien, we shot the first day with John Hurt's part. Is it off?
No. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, John Hurt, originally it was John Finch who had done another Hitchcock movie, and he was playing the part that John Hurt eventually did. But John Finch had just gotten out of the hospital from having severe pneumonia. So, of course, Ridley loves to work with smoke. And in those days, it was beeswax, and it was constant. And by the time we shot because we shot the whole engine room blowing up and trying to land and all of that stuff. And by the time we finished that, John was back in the hospital. And so the next thing I know, the next day, John Hurt arrives, and he's now playing the part. And I looked at him and I thought, oh shit, we look like clones of each other. He had a crew cut, he had the same complexion I did, and thousands of friends. I mean, it was hysterical. I thought, oh my goodness, what a difference.
Great. I'm not photocast, but I do my best.
That's awesome.
Okay, thank you so much.
Great panel. Today is your birthday. Oh, you got the sign. That's amazing. Happy birthday, big boy. All right, that was a great panel. Stand here for a moment watching the game. Pacers are up 31-28 with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. All right, check this out. I've been trying to track down this Jason all day. We got the camper. We got Giant Jason Part 7. Look at that, the kill, the sleeping bag kill. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Holy crap. Thank you, Jason. Happy birthday. Yeah, there you go, piggyback that photo op. That's amazing. We'll see you in the party. All right, a little behind the scenes. Setting up for Jason's birthday party. All right, this is some of the best cosplay I've ever seen. I like that you have like the Halloween hue on you. The blue.
Yeah, it's almost like the water. It's nice.
So nice. All right, I just popped out. They just opened the doors for the party at 10 o'clock. We got a nice little line. I see a Jason in line right there. Look at that. It looks like part 4 Jason's got his life preserver on now. Makes sense.
So, say something right here, my man.
Hello, Indiana. I was born here. I was born in Newcastle.
Anyway, so people come up and are like, we love you, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And they're like, yeah, because you're in Tampa J videos. I'm like, ah, Jesus. So, but this guy from Indiana, he loves all you guys.
Yeah, hey guys.
Look at his shirt. I feel like punching him right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's an honor to be right next to Selfie Guy.
Sure, man.
I love this guy. We pretend not. I hate him, but yeah, it's an honor to be up here on stage at Days of the Dead. This is one of my favorite conventions, and it's good to see you all having fun. I love the horror community, and I just love seeing everyone always having fun at these things. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a great weekend, and happy birthday, Jason.
Yeah. So we'll get a happy birthday going, but one real quick thing. So me and Jay have always been friends. Me and Adam were very close, and then I actually got introduced to Jay. And like our fathers passed away within a couple months of each other, so we have this beautiful bond together. And I swear to God, I want to say though, he is hands down my top 5 nicest friends in my world. I swear to God, he is such a good guy, and I love what he's doing, how he's grown. So definitely, oh Jesus, already we're out.
It's me. It's my
Jesus,
luck.
okay.
You were saying something good.
I think the batteries are dead on this one, but let's do a happy birthday song. Oh Jesus, we'll just do it freestyle it. Yeah, I'll get a new mic.
He's in my top 12.
Let's do a happy birthday, Jason, and then
like
put the
it.
music on, and we'll go. So you guys ready? Let's do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jason. Happy birthday to you.
He's back there.
Yeah, bro. So let's get some music going.
Seriously, some of the best cosplay right there. Freaking awesome. Amazing. I'm sorry about your luck. Jason's watching the game on his birthday. Oh wow, look at that. Currently a 91-89 ball game with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go. All right, this is not good. 44 seconds left to go. Indiana's been leading most of the game. 106 to 103. OKC came back. So if Thunder wins, the series will be tied 2-2. All right, everyone. Pacers lost. I'm sure you know by now. I sat there for the last quarter of the game, did not move. Darn it. All right, it's 2-2. Back to Days of the Dead. Great day. This is one of my favorite Days of the Dead ever. It was so awesome to be here on Friday the 13th, to be among so many Friday the 13th legends. This is one of my favorite experiences of all time as far as horror conventions. And I want to thank everyone who I met today, friends, subscribers to the channel. You guys made it for me. That was so cool getting to meet everyone today. So thank you so much for making my day. Thanks Days of the Dead. Thanks 13X Studios. Don't rub it in too hard. Pacers lost. That was a great time. The party, everything. I'm just so happy to be a part of such a great horror community. A great community. These people are awesome. And you guys are awesome for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give the video a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. Subscribe below if it's your first time. If you like the spooky stuff, I've got a lot of creature features and much ahead. Halloween haunt season is coming up very soon. I'm still planning it. It's almost 100% planned. Come September, again, just like the last several seasons, we will be hitting the haunted houses very hard. So just want to put that out there as well. All right, I'm going to head back to my mom's tonight. I got to wake up early. I got to leave Indiana early in the morning. And there's much ahead. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please know that you're awesome, that you're loved, and no matter who you are or what you're going through, just know that there's always much ahead. It's good to be back home where I was born and see these places. I played pee-wee football like 3 blocks from here. Used to practice at an elementary school not far from here. All these memories come back to me when I'm up here. And also, happy heavenly birthday to my grandpa again. And yeah, that's all I got to say at the end. It's almost midnight. I gotta drive 45 minutes. I gotta edit this video and leave at a decent hour tomorrow. So that's what happened. Goodbye, Indiana. I'll be back. There's much ahead. Definitely much ahead. And look at that. My order number at White Castle late night dinner was 13. Order number 13. Good night, guys. I love me some White Castle. This is the Greenfield White Castle. This used to be my local White Castle as a boy. My dad actually built that gate right there. I've shared this years ago. He installed that gate. Still here. Fencing.